Okay, so today I would like to welcome everybody for Module 6. This is an introductory session just about Module 6 because 7 weeks' time is a long time if you don't know what you're going to sign up for. So Module 6 is about marketing, and not just about marketing, it's about self-marketing. And self-marketing is potentially for everybody who is an author, who is a coach, who is a healer, and who's going to be in a position of really joining the forces of a very big industry, which is the industry of what I call soul leaders. This is a winning tribe. It's not something that's pre-manufactured. And here I am. I just didn't start my video yet. So, but this time I'm recording. So this is an improvement from last time. I can really just invite you to join me and to watch this video because I honestly don't know if you have any idea as to how terrifying self-marketing is to many of my clients and how it was for myself. Now, I give you a little bit of a background later on as to why that is, but I would like to also just jump right into our many slides that we have today. So for those of you who have not seen the previous sessions, it's really all about getting an idea of the Eclipse 7 weeks program, and it's the Mystic's Journey, which I call Mystic's Journey because a lot of people find the spiritual business part so mystical, and I believe that many of those who are on that journey have a mystical element, which is a divine element, a sacred element. And that's why you're here, because you want to live and thrive in your sacred soul purpose. And that means that you've had, at one point or another, something inside of you that said, I've got to go that path. And it is a mystical path, and you don't always see the whole road in front of you. So you follow just those little nuggets that you get on the road. And whilst I'm trying to be as concise as I can, I know I'm talking to many people who absolutely hate marketing, don't want to talk about themselves, have nothing to do with marketing, because it sounds sleazy, it sounds manipulative, sounds absolutely horrifying. And that's why I'm here, because I'm a spiritual teacher. I am a business and leadership coach, and I absolutely love marketing now. I didn't start out like that, but I'm empowering soul leaders because they're going to need marketing, because they want to find and thrive in their sacred soul purpose, because that's all the life that you put into this. And so you don't want to end up basically trying to reinvent the wheel and be like that priest that said, I'm going to wait for God to rescue me when he was about to drown. And meanwhile, he had the police come, the fire department, a helicopter and boats, and I don't know, the Marines, and nobody wanted to do anything else but rescue him. And he said, no, God is going to rescue me. And so in that moment, he dies thinking God abandoned him. But God, in the moment that he comes to face with him, said, I didn't abandon you. I sent you all of my forces on earth to rescue you, and you didn't want them. So here it is. If you're somebody who is going to just rely on spirit, I hear this so often. I rely on spirit. What does that even mean in marketing? It means you're going to just hope and pray that somebody's going to find you and see you, and you're not going to talk about yourself. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of a perspective shift, because I really think this is a very important part. And yes, it does take a little bit of know-how, and this is why I'm here. So here it is. Our to-do list for today is why good marketing is key to success. How will I capture my target audience? What does this consciousness level of my ideal clients have to do with my target market? Uh-huh. Who do I market myself to? Yes. What is the best marketing strategy? How can I become a great marketer? And how can I start thriving without investing an arm and a leg? So here's the thing. Yeah, we're all going to try to do our best not to get sucked into the many gadgets that are out there. At one point, I was suggested to make an app. I haven't done that yet. I was suggested to make a virtual tour of my many things that I'm doing with a video that takes people on a day with Lydia. I was going to do a video about how I spend my day. And yeah, well, that would have been all nice and well, but I was not going to invest an arm and a leg, which it would have cost me if I did. So why do we hate marketing so much? And why is it good to to use good marketing as key to our success? It's absolutely mandatory because you want to take the mystical out of marketing so that you become magnetic. Magnetic being that energy that you sparkle off of yourself when you're in your sacred soul purpose and say, hey, this is absolutely the most wonderful thing that I believe in so strongly that my enthusiasm is going to be so contagious that everybody's going to want this. Now, here's the thing, you're going to need a product because you absolutely need a product so people can actually see what it is that you're going to give them. And if it's not a product, it's a service packaged in such a way that people understand exactly what it is that you're doing. So we talked about that a little bit last time, and I really want to make sure that this time we're going to cover the essence of what marketing really is and why it is so hateful. Well, because we don't understand where we are in this. Now, if I told you today that by marketing to the right people, you're actually going to increase the peace of this world and the level of ease and harmony and coherence in our atmosphere and as a whole on the planet, I'm going to sound really, really woo-woo to you, but that's exactly what you're doing because you're shifting the people's consciousness level if you're solution oriented, and giving them a lot more coherence, which means you're helping them out of a stressed out, better state in their mind into a alpha, and if you're doing what I'm doing, into a theta state. And the theta state of your brain is basically really on a very, very high level of frequency. So bear with me while I'm talking woo-woo. I will translate this to you. So here is basically, the idea behind this is that you're getting your planets aligned, not just the ducklings, but your planets. And your planets meaning that which you are absolutely consciously creating. And I don't want you to create planets just yet, but you are the God of your world, and you have to make sure that you are representing that divine essence and to filter it down to a target audience that really reflects that which you are. Because what you're doing is you're marketing yourself. Some people say you've got to know thyself. And I say, no, you don't have to know thyself because you never, ever get to know something that you can't see. So you will know that which you currently see and that which you currently accept of yourself, which is divine essence, as much as you're allowing that light to come through you. You are that filter of divine essence. You are the solution to the problems other people are solving if you're empowering yourself. So in that moment where you want to talk to a target audience, you will want to have to bring to them what they want because you are embodying that. And your authenticity will sparkle and your enthusiasm will kick them and say, hey, this is this is really what I want. And that's what marketing really is. It's giving people an impulse. It's showing them that you're there and that you want to solve what they are struggling with. And you don't want any clients. You want people who just basically, make you feel great at what you're doing. Why? Because otherwise it's going to be bad marketing. It's going to be bad influence, and you're not going to be very happy about it. So what I've done so far is not telling you anything new. You probably knew all this already. But what I want you to do is really reflect on whether or not you have been a 5-star client in the past. Have you said yes to yourself completely? And have you invested in that which you believe in that you need to do in order to fulfill your destiny, your sacred soul purpose? So why am I saying this? Because you have to be on the consciousness level of ultimately love, which is a level of 500 according to the scale of consciousness of Dr. Hawkins. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more here because this is something I want you to understand. When we're doing marketing on a oneness level, I see this all the time. People preaching oneness and then just capturing just a glimpse of it and then falling back into this criticizing division mindset, which currently is so rampant in our industry. This is making like a real gap between those who are in oneness and those who would like to be representing oneness, but who have a filter on that says, I am better than the others. So here it is. We are all in our greatness if we embrace who we are truly on a very, very deep soul level, which means that when you're getting in touch with other people, you don't see them as broken. You don't see them as having a problem. You see them as a absolute wonderful, transcendent being. And I put that butterfly there because that's the chaos theory that I'm inspired by, because every little wing flap that you make here in your online marketing is going to create the ripples that will create the tornado on the other side that you are not even aware of that you're doing. So, be careful with those wing flapping moments. Because if you want to create something that's going to fall into place for you, you have to be aware of your attractor patterns. What are attractor patterns, and what is it that you need to devise as a good strategy? I'm coming from a place of energy, of frequency, and of vibrational level here. That means that if you're coming from that place of complete oneness and love, you're going to resonate with people who are on that level. Those are the attractive patterns you want to set, because on a consciousness level, those are the ones who are going to understand what you're going to talk about, and they are going to be able to really go into this reflection, in this intention setting, in this release and empowerment mindset where you can actually talk the same language, which means that you don't have to translate yourself. And so if you're on a consciousness level where you are already kind of really loving and in oneness, and you're really coming from a place where you want to help people, those people need to be wanting to help themselves. So in other words, your attractor patterns, A, B, C, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you be a coach, a healer, or a magician on the stage, it doesn't matter. You have to put things in place which are called the operants, so that you create that butterfly wing effect on the other side and see the observable events that are taking place. That is a chain reaction of the things that you're setting in motion with your marketing, with your message, with the words that you're putting out there. So those words have to resonate with the target audience, and they have to be the language they understand. And whilst I'm talking a lot about vibration and frequency, here is a little bit of an overview. I took this from the book that you saw on the other side. So I'm lending this and I'm returning it with my understanding that for purposes of teaching others, I'm actually making a indirect marketing for the book. So if you want to find it, it's on Amazon. I don't usually like Amazon, but I will use Amazon to support the authors, and I will also encourage everybody to do so, because right now authors will need the support. This particular author doesn't live anymore, so it really doesn't matter. But at the moment where you come from a place where you want to help authors, you also want to help yourself, because you might want to write a book. You might want to be that person who is an author and wants to self-market, and you're going to be grateful for people talking about your stuff in their presentations. So what you want to do with that consciousness level that you seek in them is basically formulating your message in such a way that it becomes meaningful, that it is helping them to easily accept what it is that you're offering. And you're going to help them understand the reasoning behind it and help them lower the threshold of the resistance that they are going to put up with the big but in your face that says, but I have this and I have that. And I'm not going to go into that energy because I really don't care about the but. Those who understand, those who really love, trust, and want to have that solution, they will buy. And they will do so with the surest conviction that they couldn't have done a better choice. So here is my thing about my ideal clients. I see them as empowered. I don't see them as not being able to afford. I see them as independent people. I don't see them as somebody who has to ask for permission to do so, because they live their sacred soul purpose. They don't need the permission, they have it. And so what they also don't need is an excuse, because those who come with excuses will always find excuses. They want solutions, but they don't want to invest themselves, then there you go. It's already a done deal. They're going to have to continue in their patterns, because I'm not here to change their patterns before they have invented the wheel again, because that's what they're going to have to do. All right. So here is the thing. If you're going to be in my target market, I draw you in because I have the languaging that wants to be heard from you, that wants to be seen by you. And I start with the understanding that you are a fully empowered person already, who just needs to figure out how things are working. In marketing, that is the magnetic effect that draws people in. And I see so much out there, which is totally toxic and manipulative, that it comes like like you have that feeling where the hair is standing up in your neck when you read what they're writing. It gets me upset sometimes when I read that, because I'm like, yeah, well, people fall for that and then it doesn't work and they wonder why it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work because you're not in alignment with it, because you fell for a manipulative strategy. So here is the thing with conscious marketing and marketing magnetism. If you're going to consciously lead people to solutions, don't create more problems for them while doing so. It's like if you know that your audience is really ready for what it is that you're going to offer them, you know where you find them. You know that your definitive target is going to be out there and you will capture them anyway. How? You have to serve it on you don't have to have a silver platter. You just have to serve it on a platter that is appetizing enough. And it doesn't even have to have any kind of, I don't know, gadgets around it. What it really needs to have is clarity, and it has to be the answer to the problem that they have. Now, if you look at the image here, it's a cute kitty who has a big fishy in front of her. I don't think there is a problem selling that fish to the kitty. the kitty is probably going to be a little bit intimidated, but just can't wait to get those teeth sunk into that fish. That's basically the feeling that your audience have when they see what it is that you're offering. It's a big fish and they want to sink the teeth into it. So if there's something fishy about it, don't buy it. And that's what they're going to smell. They're going to smell the fishy part. In this case, the kitty will probably like the fishy part. In many cases, they won't. So if there's something that's out of alignment, something that's not congruent, something that's not with really in your heart space, it's going to show. And so while you're doing your research on your market, you have to really understand how your ideal market ticks and what makes them open their wallets and their hearts, because the one doesn't necessarily mean the other. I really want to encourage everybody to, think about what it is that they have already invested in and how much they got out of it, and how many programs they've already invested in and didn't really put into practice and implementation. So the best marketing strategy for you is not the shiny objects, is the one with the laser focus. It's the one that you really love doing and you're going to learn it so well that it basically becomes a second nature to you. And a lot of people say, Lydia, I don't like Zoom. I don't like being seen on video. And that's okay. You can turn off your video. I can do this right now. See, you don't see me anymore. There you go. Now you see the beautiful little kitty with a dot. And that's basically what it is that you want to be, focusing on. You want to focus on the dot, not on the many ideas and many avenues that you could potentially go into. And yes, what are they? There's so many. It can get overwhelming. But to become a great marketer, you have to be all of those things: creative, inspirational, innovative, approachable, communicative, memorable, and omnipresent. You have to be all of those things, but you probably are already. Okay, so that's not the problem. The problem is that you don't know how to translate those ideas into content. You don't know how to be consistent in putting out a blog, a podcast, a video, a social media presence. You don't know how to be concise, because sometimes you get into a rambling mode and you kind of just, I do this a lot because I'm a rambler. I kind of just ramble on. So if I'm not concise enough for you, you're probably not my ideal client, because we're going to really, really talk about a lot of things that help you understand things while I'm rambling. But anyway, yes, in your marketing, you have to be concise. And it doesn't matter how much of a message you bring out there, if it doesn't create images in the people's minds of a life that is transformed, that has a different feel to it, has a hopeful feel to it, it's not going to be effective. And so you have to kind of dive into that imagery that you have that kind of helps them understand and make that decision to buy from you. And in my marketing strategies, I always include images that are blissful, that are kind of cute, but also, meaningful. But I also invite people to think about how many marketing strategies are out there who just base themselves on that sexual energy. I think the biggest mistake to make is to continue in a way that is toxic and abusive. And what I want to really encourage doing, for spiritual and conscious people, is to use the same energy, but not in the same content, in the not the same blatant way that people are using it today. So yes, be sexy about what you're talking about, but don't be blatantly, I don't know, disgusting. Just be social, be attractive, be something that people haven't seen yet, and be something that adds value. The AV is for adding value, and the added value produces the ROI, the a return on the investment. And about the investment, you already know that's what you would want them to basically say yes to. And the investment comes after you have been able to communicate as a great marketer that you are, that you have captured them so much that they want to hear more of you, that they want to really see you all the time and just get sticky. You know, your messages become the tape, the duct tape to their problems, because one or the other way they are using what you have to offer to seal those holes in their energy, to seal the leakages where they kind of drain themselves. And this is where you kind of need to offer it in such a way that they can say yes to it easily. And that's the best marketing strategy. And how do you do that? You follow one course until successful. That's what focus stands for. Follow one course until successful. So many times I've been asked, how do you do that? Well, obviously, you're not going to follow a course that you're not successful in already. You have to see what's working for you. You have to see what's really going to get in front of the right audiences. And you have to see what the audiences want from you. Because if you have a great offer and you have a lot of audiences, if you're not talking to the right audience who doesn't have the consciousness level of you, what it is that you're offering, then you're basically talking into the void, if even though the room is full of people. So yeah, you have to be kind of very diligent about your research as to where these people hang out, what they're doing, and what keeps them up at night. This is what I always say. What does it take for them to sleep well? And offer that. So here's the thing. If you're doing all this, if you're really kind of in a mindset that marketing is easy for you, that you're actually giving peaceful messages to people who seek peace, that you're actually contributing to universal peace at that moment with your enthusiasm and energy, you still haven't received that success moment because you're not aligned, you're not authentic enough, you're not unique enough. And all of this is about knowing yourself. And yes, it is absolutely mandatory that your self-image is congruent, that you're knowledgeable, that you're persuasive, that you have an enthusiastic level, but not like completely overboard. Has to be in alignment with your message, and your message has to reflect what it is that they want. So if you are somebody who never really liked marketing, you have to find a form where marketing is going to feel so authentic and wonderful for you that it is like, that glove that sits on your hand when you just, feel so comfortable. That's when you become magnetic. Magnetic meaning that your words and your presentations and your lives and your YouTube clips and your, I don't know, everything that you do, your blogs and everything that you're saying becomes something that people want to subscribe to all the time. Now, obviously, that can make people in a way addicted to you. And, that's okay. But you also want to have them buy from you. And a lot of times my clients say, well, look, they want to hear from you. They want to always get to have the solutions, but they don't want to invest. And so here's the thing. You have to prepare something that appetizes them enough so they can say easily yes to it, but they have to go into the exchange mode, and that's where you capture them. You prepare something small that kind of attracts the appetite, and captures them in a way that your first step is already done. You have them on your list. So if you're creating a list and you want them to be on your list, you have to filter it into such a way that it is a small package first, with which you collect their email address, and then you have them in a email circle. You send them emails regularly, or you bring them into a group where you regularly bring that message across, and where you can actually connect with them and exchange your views. And so that you get to learn a little bit more about what they really want, about what they do, and what they have to say about what it is that they really need. Because if you're offering something they don't need, many ways to say this, but then it's just absolutely useless to spend any money on marketing. So here's the thing. With my program, you get in alignment with who you are. You understand, after that program, you understand who you are marketing to, and you understand how you're going to do it. I'm not giving you all the tools in that one part of the program. I'm giving you a jump start into making the right steps into the right direction. There's so many other programs you can buy that give you all the massive tools, and I don't know, see, this is the thing. That's when people get discouraged and stop doing what they're doing because they're not aligned, they're overwhelmed, and they can't implement. That's why people like Jeff Walker, for instance, say that people that sign up to his programs, which is not such a cheap program, in my opinion, it's like you have to pay $2,000 to not even be able to get a mentorship from him directly in person. He does group calls, he does a lot of things that are really amazing, but he doesn't sit there and explain things to you one-on-one. So in that program, he says in the beginning, I know there's only going to be 2% who are going to implement this. And those are the ones who are really going to be successful. And he has a lot of people on his list. So a lot of people have success with his list. But with his project, which is called the launch formula or something like that, I think I've seen it enough in order to understand what it is that it takes for you to get aligned and to really be ready in order to start working with him, for instance, so that you can buy his product and implement it. The reason why a lot of people fizzle is because they can't stick to that routine, and they get overwhelmed, and they kind of get sucked into the negative thinking behind it, which really is part of that that mindset that says, I'm not going to be enough for this. So we're addressing all of this. We're going to help you get aligned. We're going to get that inner talk sorted out. That's what I'm doing with you. And we're going to be really clear about what marketing is to you. And you're going to love it so much that you want to do it all the time. So if there's any questions out there, I'd love to hear you. I want you to jump on board. Now, I don't know if you've seen it. You can actually click on the link that's in the event section. There's a link to the Zoom, and you can hop on and ask your questions directly. The reason why I'm doing this, and I really hope that you understand that there will be a pitch eventually, probably next week. But there is a reason behind this, and I have a method to my madness. I want you to say yes easily to the 7-week coaching program that I'm offering, because what I'm doing here is paradigm shifting. It's something you're going to benefit from for the rest of your life when you're in a business that helps other people, that basically is a service that you're providing. And to make this paradigm shift easy for you, I actually offer this year at the regular price that I've had all year long. And I will change that next year because I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is something I value and I have had a lot of success with, and I've had people say that they were successful in it. But I want you to benefit from it now during this difficult time, um, because a lot of times when you're in overwhelm already, when you're already kind of deflated because so many negative things happen in your life, you lose track of what it is that's really essential. And I think what's really essential is that leaders in their field, soul leaders, are empowered enough to get up and go every day and are motivated. And if you're taking the sand out of your gears, out of your system, it's going to be like pouring oil on it, and it's going to run smoothly like a really nice clock that has this clockwork working all the time. And becoming really good at what you're doing, a lot of times it's really the resistance you need to take out. So I will check on my schedule here. I'm a little bit over time, but I think it's okay. So I'm stopping my recording now. If you still have questions, let me know. And